What's up, you crazy people? It's the Chad Prather Show. We're chilling. We're laid back and hanging out. I want to remind you guys, I'm going to look at the calendar real quick. Bear with me. I want you to come find me on the road. In this next week, I'm going to be all over the map. Going to be in Liberty Township, which is northeast Cincinnati. There in Ohio, for those of you that it might be geographically challenged. Then we're going up to Columbus. That's a Wednesday and Thursday night show. We won't keep you out too late. Jesse will be with me, so come hang out with us if you're in the area. Then Zach Rushing and I, Belleville, Illinois, on the 28th. That is Friday night. And then on the 29th, we're in Miami. Not to be confused with Miami, even though it's spelled that way. Miami, Oklahoma. On that Saturday, the 29th. So come check us out. We got a ton of stuff going on. And you find more information, watchchad.com. That's where all the fun stuff is. Go over to prathertees.com and do some shopping. I need money. Daddy needs money. I need gas money to get to all those different cities. The guy that's going to be driving me around in all those places, sitting across the table from me. He's gay, but it's Pride Month. Steve Helms, the Texas legend. What's up, baby?
Hey, buddy.
It's okay that you're gay. Let me ask you a question.
Wait, how do you get Miami and Miami with the same spelling?
It's Oklahoma, dude.
That's impossible.
But I guarantee if you go up there and say Miami,
you get shot.
They'll say, come after you.
Yeah, they'll come at you.
Get a rope.
All right, what you got?
I want to know when you're in your 50s, I want to know at what point in life you knew you were mentally retarded.
Mom said they dropped me as soon as I came out.
I'm pretty sure they've dropped you more than once.
Yeah. I was like a slippery lizard, and they just dropped me in the Johnson County Memorial Hospital floor.
Good Lord, have mercy. Well, you're from Cleburne, Texas. That's part of the problem.
Yes, but
it's in the water.
It's spelt Miami. Yeah.
It's Cleburne. It's spelled Cleburne, but they call it Clebune.
Clebune, yes.
You need no introduction. You're the Texas legend. 6 studio albums, Texas music for the last 500 years.
Man, keep going, dude.
And everybody needs to download your music so you can make 50 cents this year. And also, they need to book you because I can't afford you anymore.
Yes, you can, man. Come on.
I can't. I've got too many kids.
I've seen your bank statements, dude.
I've got too many kids. And you know, my kids have gotten more expensive the older they've gotten.
That's the way it works, dude. The toys get bigger.
Well, like these educations and these further educations and higher educations and more degrees. And I'm like, stop it.
Yeah.
And cars that quit.
The Hot Wheel turns into a vehicle, dude.
Yeah. It turns into a Ford Escape. Dude, we started doing what we do. Before, because we've been friends for a long time, but we started doing what we do with the music, specifically when COVID hit, because everything shut down.
Right.
You know, it was weird to me that so many venues shut down the way they did, and just a lot of them, live music venues, entertainment venues, are now closing their doors because they just haven't been able to recover.
Yeah, they can't get back from it.
From that whole debacle.
The sad part to me, too, buddy, is how far everybody fell under the spell of, oh, my God, where's your mask?
They're still under it.
6 feet apart, and they still do it.
They're still under it. They'll still defend it.
Yeah.
They can't. They refuse to. They refuse to be wrong.
I know that, and that's what it is. They're never going to say that. Oh, we got duped. You know?
Yeah. But we would get on the road, you and I, and Ben McPherson on fiddle, and some other of our friends would bounce around. We'd go to places like, Montana and Wyoming, and Texas did open back up, but it was still weird. Like I can remember being in the Fort Worth Stockyards, which is one of the entertainment districts there in Fort Worth, and if you were in one of those venues, they wanted you to have a mask around your ears, under your chin. But if the TABC came in, Texas Alcohol Beverage Commission, if they came in inspecting, you had to be able to take the mask and pull it up.
Right.
And if they saw you with it under here like this, that would have been fine.
Right. At least you were trying.
Yeah, they're like, you didn't have to have it covering your nose and mouth, but it at least had to be there.
Can I tell the story of us at the sushi restaurant?
Yeah. It's a great story.
We go to the sushi restaurant. We're walking across, we sit down, we're playing by the rules. We have our mask on, we sit down, we take them off, we order. Well, Chad has to get up to go to the restroom, and he walks 10 feet. this lady at a table turns around, and I can see them talking, but I can't hear them. They were too far away. She says, "You're not wearing your mask." He said, "Well, you're not wearing yours." She said, "Yes, but I'm seated." Chad said, "And I want you to sit there and think about what you just said."
Yeah. I mean, that's just asinine ignorance. So when you go back to the whole mental retardation thing, you know, when you use a word like that, you say something's retarded. We ain't talking about special needs people.
No.
We're talking about idiots.
Everyday people that just idiots.
That put pool noodles on their head
yes.
and sat down at a table
yes,
so they wouldn't touch anybody. Or went on television to hug their grandparents through paper plastic sacks.
Saw people at the airport, dude, looked like they had spacesuits on.
Hazmat.
Yes.
Asian people especially.
Duct tape around the ends that were coming loose.
We give Scheider a hard time. My unseen Singaporean over here. That's why I say Asians particularly. You'd go in there. Now, people in many Asian countries, because they're overpopulated, they wear masks all the time. They culturally always have.
Right.
Was that true in Singapore? Yeah. And you know what else? If you get around people like that, if you get around people from Asian countries, they don't know anything a lot about your personal space either. They'll bump right into you.
Yeah,
because they're used to being crowded.
Yeah.
So they don't think about that, but they all wear their masks.
Yeah.
Well, it was so funny because I'd see these guys. There was a group of Korean guys that were getting on my flight one time, and they were full hazmat suits. I mean, respirators, the whole thing. And I was like, what are you doing? I mean, so they took it to the next level. Hey, guys, you know, for 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been America's only Christian wireless service provider. When I say the only ones, they are the only ones, and I'm so proud of them as my friends and partners for this show. Patriot Mobile offers dependable nationwide coverage, and they're going to give you the ability to access all three major networks. So if you're used to a certain coverage, you can keep that same coverage, but you can also use Patriot Mobile and not fund all of these big companies that send a portion of your bill to leftist causes. So if you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message that you support free speech, religious freedom, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, our military, veterans, first responder heroes. 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching easy. They will even give you free activation when you use promo code CHAD. You can keep your phone. You can keep your number. You can upgrade. They'll help you do that, but they will find the best plan for your family and for your needs. Go to patriotmobile.com/Chad or call them 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT, or give them a call or check them out online, I should say, patriotmobile.com/Chad. Join me and make the switch today. But what fascinates me is I saw a picture on, I don't know if it was X or somewhere, Instagram, and I think that they took Oprah to the hospital. She had a little medical emergency or something, 70 years old. And there she is with her mask on. I don't know. Maybe she's smart. I don't know. Maybe that's what we should have always done. It's just we should have just not breathed any air.
I don't know. Maybe so.
And now we know the masks didn't work. But again, it affected so many things. And I bring that up because it was good for us because we took advantage of it. We started playing music. We started putting it out there. I'm not much of a musician, but you are. So is Ben. You guys are elite players. I surround myself with goodness, and it makes it work. And I keep all the money.
Wait, what?
You get it back, though, because you have expensive tastes.
I mean, when you say, hey, I've got dinner and drinks, I'm going to get the lobster and the scotch, dude.
Well, when Steve shows up at my house for a week, like this week, he came into town to play a gig, which was great in Tomball, Texas last week, and then he doesn't leave. So we're changing the name of the band.
Let's play golf, hang out a few days.
Well, it's a tropical storm coming through. I don't know what's going to happen, but, you know, we're going to change the name of the band from Chad Prather and the Ragamuffins to Chad Prather and the Dependents.
Yes. Yes. I like it.
I should be able to write you guys off on my forms. I don't pay taxes.
Chad Prather and the 1099s.
That's solid.
That's, I'm telling you, yeah.
That's solid. We should make it something musical, like Marty Stewart does on his fabulous superlatives. We should call it something like the ever talented 1099s.
Yes, I love it.
Give it a big long name.
I got to do a show with him, dude, talking about Marty Stewart.
Oh boy, he's good.
He came on, he did 3 songs, and he stopped, and me and my band are to the left of the stage, just in awe because it's Marty Stewart. And he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, in his cool voice that he does. If you would, one more time, please put your hands together again for the Steve Helms Orchestra. I just went, yes, that was the coolest thing ever.
Steve's 5-piece country band.
The Steve Helms Orchestra.
You think I'm kidding? I might change the name to the 1099s.
The 1099s.
I'm liking the name.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid.
There might be some cool merch in that, too.
Yeah,
dude.
that's pretty solid. I never really liked the Ragamuffins. We came up with that on a whim. Because,
people give us crap over that, too, all the time.
Well, they do, because I wasn't thinking about what's his name? He got killed in '94, the Christian singer.
Right.
And I know his name, and I grieve to not think of it in this moment. I knew the man, and so gosh, yeah, I'm telling you, the older I get,
you're old.
The older I get.
Yeah.
But he had the Ragamuffins, but he's been dead since '94. Right. I wasn't really thinking about, Christian music.
And we will be soon, too, so it doesn't
Not
matter.
soon. Not soon. I was awake from 2 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. this morning, and then caught a nap this morning.
Did you really?
Yeah. I don't know. Anxiety. You ever get anxiety?
I mean,
you ever get a little panic attack?
I kind of do.
Where you get a little, I was hot, and I was sweating, and I don't know if it was my menopause going off.
I was going to say, people that are my age, they get it because you do. Your hormones and your levels get out, dude, and you turn into a weirdo.
And I've been
through it.
And then I get people know I get claustrophobic, so I was.
He hates it when I put my hand over his mouth.
It's not that; it's when you start kissing my neck. But when that happens, then I'm like, okay, I'm up. Now I gotta. I'm just awake, and so then you get on the social media thing, and that just stimulates your brain.
And you get sucked in, don't you?
And I'm like 37,000 reels deep, going, why is this guy trying to crash his car? You know?
Wait, I do need that potato peeler.
Boy, Amazon.com loves me at 3:30. And I love it when stuff shows up, and I'm like, what did I buy?
Every time I come to your home, dude, it's like I've gone into like a little antique mall or something because you never know when you're going to need this or
I
that.
have stuff.
You've got stuff here, dude.
We got up this morning, and we went to breakfast. And by the way, in the middle of the night, I was thirsty, and so I went to the kitchen to get something to drink. And I got a perfectly good bed up here you could be sleeping in. Steve chooses the couch. So I have this specimen in his underwear.
Yeah.
Him and my dog, Trader, where's she at? She's probably sitting at your feet.
No, she's down.
What
she's
a
down
bitch.
here. Yeah, she's down here.
And so she slept with you last night on the couch, so I can hear you over there grumbling and snoring and calling people names. And you got road rage in your sleep. I didn't stick around long because it felt creepy.
Did it?
It just felt
video
odd.
though, did you?
No, it just felt weird. I didn't want to. I don't think I would get turned on in that situation, but I also don't want to test it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to know the answer to that.
No. So anyway, I snuck in there and got it. Came back. I was like, this guy needs his CPAP. And anyway, I was just awake. And so then I was like, okay, I need a nap because Scheider's going to come in here and he's going to make me perform and do things, which is, sort of like what all the men in my life do.
Yeah, I get it.
But I never liked the name Ragamuffins. Because we had a couple of names we were kicking around, and we've really put zero thought into it.
We really have.
I remember whenever
there's a lot of things in our lives that we've done it with.
I said, imagine if we were strategic. And I said, the Ragamuffins, and you were like, what is a Ragamuffin?
What the hell is that? I mean, I'll be one.
I'll be one, but it's been fun. I mean, we go out, we have a good show. You know what I was most impressed with? I was most impressed with the set we did on that music cruise.
Yeah.
I'm looking, it's driving me dadgum crazy. My brain's over here working. I feel so bad. Rich Mullins.
Yes.
And the Ragamuffins. And so
it's ironic that his name's Dick and you couldn't remember it.
I know. God, it's horrible. But anyway, that deal we did on the boat, on that Rock the Cruise thing.
That was a fun deal.
It's awesome. And it was a great set.
Yeah.
Now I got cut short. We had one more song to do.
That was a little awkward, dude.
And they were like, okay, gotta go. We gotta get out of this room.
Yeah.
Because it had to be done by a certain time.
They had some comedian and nobody who knew who they were.
Yeah.
He's going to be here in an hour.
Yeah. And so we did that show. It was funny. Our timing was perfect. The music was good. It was funny. We had a lot of people in there who had never heard us before. They loved us. Hopefully they'll have us back on the boat because I had a good time with that. And then I loved it that one of our buddies in Texas Music gave a shout out. It said, Curtis Grimes, he said, does anybody else, when he did his set, he was like, did anybody else notice that Chad Prather's funnier than the comedian on the boat? And I was like, yes. Hey guys, I want to welcome back to the program one of our old friends, Fume. I don't know if you've heard it or not, but the flavored air category, yeah, that's a thing. It's quickly becoming a leading alternative to vaping and smoking. Yeah, it's a whole new movement towards better habits, led by Fume themselves. Listen, we've all got bad habits. I've got some, you've got some, we've all got some. And let's talk about bad habits. You know, sometimes you're out with friends and they're all reaching for those bad habits and you feel the urge to not be left out. So you reach for your bad habit or you try to borrow one of theirs. Well, what if I was to tell you there's a better alternative that will help you kick that bad habit in an enjoyable way? And it's something you can take out with you and use anywhere. Fume, it's an award-winning flavored air device. That's right. Flavored air isn't like vaping. If vapor was compared to sticky soda, well, Fume cores, they're closer to like herbal teas. It actually is not bad for you. Fume has lots of delicious flavors to choose from. They got the crisp mint, the orange vanilla, the flavored air. You can satisfy your oral fixation through a passive diffusion system that utilizes no electronics, no vapor, no combustion. It's going to draw the flavor into your mouth. Fume's going to fill the void, ditching those bad habits that you have out there, and you can still have something to reach for when the time comes. It's not a vape. There's no vapor. You can use it anywhere. No nicotine. It's not addictive. Non-toxic flavors. It's a guilt-free alternative. No batteries. You don't even have to charge the thing. And guess what? If you're like me, you can fidget with it. That's right. It's going to calm the anxiety, give you something to do with your hands. It's got the magnets, got the snaps, got the clicks. Check it out. Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you can be their next success story. For a limited time, use my code CHAD, I spell it Chad, to get a free gift with your journey pack. Head over to tryfume.com. That's tryfum.com. Use promo code Chad. You can scan the QR code there on the screen to get a free gift with your order today. That's tryfume, F-U-M, tryfume.com/Chad. Don't forget, use promo code Chad. So anyway, I say this all the time. Steve, he's a full-time musician. He's a touring musician. He's a talented dude. He and Ben, and occasionally with me. If you guys are out there, you have venues, or you want to have us or Steve and Ben into your city to come in there. Steve and Ben are a lot cheaper than I am. I'll just say that.
This is true.
I'm a commodity. I'm going to get it while I can, baby.
I don't blame you, dude.
I'm going to get it while I can. But call up your local venues and say, we want Steve Helms to come in. And maybe they want me too. I don't know. But if you're ever out there, go check them out. We have fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been
We
great.
got a lot of stories from the road.
Yes.
And we've been on the show many times, and we've talked about various things, but I will bring back up the Bobcat story when Ben puked on the Bobcat. And I was out in the garage a minute ago. I've got that Bobcat.
I saw it a while ago too, dude.
Did you see it?
I did.
We were in Casper, Wyoming. We'd done the show. Bree Bagwell, who's the hardest working woman in Texas country music.
She really is.
And she's such a badass. She was with us in Casper. And we went to a bar after the show, and it was full of taxidermy. This place, what's it called? The Fort?
The Fort.
The Fort in Casper, Wyoming. Cool place. They got heads hanging all over the wall.
Like 3 stories.
Yeah, it's just massive.
Full.
And so Ben, who never says a word until he has a few drinks, he runs off to the bathroom, and then he comes rushing back, and we were like, uh-oh, something's wrong. And he goes, we got to go. He goes, I just threw it.
The funny thing is, though, is there wasn't food. We got there late.
Yeah.
So Steve Powell, remember, he went next door and got us like $800 worth of McDonald's.
That's right. I had forgotten that.
We're all sitting there at the bar eating McDonald's.
Party Foul Steve had gone to McDonald's. That's right. That's exactly right.
We all had like 6 quarter-pounders apiece out there on the bar.
And Ben comes back and he goes, I just threw up on a Bobcat. I leaned over the counter and I thought there was a trash can there, but it was a Bobcat. And we didn't want to sit around and see what stomach acid does to Bobcat fur on a stuffed animal. And so we got the hell out of there. But that next week, you and I were in Green, Texas. We were doing a show in New Braunfels, and it was like a 4-day stretch for that deal. And we were having dinner, lunch, sharing a nice romantic Cabernet. And I went next door to that antique store, and everybody knows that story. I found that stuffed Bobcat and bought it.
You screaming across the store, that was the funny part.
That was funny. I got one. That lady said, the lady at the front said, we don't have anything like that in here. And I go, oh, I bet you do.
I bet you do.
Honey, you got shit that's been here since 1983.
Yeah, they have no idea what they have.
Yeah, my mother was an antique dealer. Trust me, y'all don't know what's in this store.
I got one.
And I hollered out. And I told my mother on the phone, I was telling her that story. She goes, what'd you pay for that? I said, $95. She said, son, you make too much money.
Making too much money for a Bobcat head.
But he's still here.
Yeah,
The
he's in the
Bobcat,
garage.
and Ben's still here,
Ben's
too.
Yeah, he is. And he's probably thrown up on other things since
He
then.
has. He just turned 29.
Yeah, you know he did.
He just turned 29 years old. He's a baby. To me, he'll always be 16. And he's the current reigning Texas fiddle player of the year for Texas Country Music Association.
Yes, 2023.
Yeah, and I bet he wins it again this year.
Yeah, I tell everybody he would have done it the 2022, but he sucked then.
Yeah, he was no good.
He got better.
He did get better. He's amazing. Whenever he plays that fiddle, trust me, that ain't the only wood on stage. That's a.
Whoa.
I'm telling you.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm telling you. It's good stuff. But we have fun, and I want to keep having fun, so we got to think about this name thing. I don't know. Maybe we could get a public little poll going about because now, what was it Kevin Fowler, our buddy, said, you saw him somewhere. Kevin Fowler's a big musician out of Texas, and he said, are you and Prather still doing that Nuffleuppins or whatever?
Oh, my God. What do you...
Snuffleuppins.
Rough-a-fluffins or
Yeah,
I don't even remember what he's... Rough-a-fluckins or... I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I was like, we need to change the name. We need to change the name. And I don't know. I think we've discussed it, but I think we were drunk. Speaking of drunk.
But I would like to go on air saying that we did capture him saying we want to keep doing this correctly. Because I thought when he hired me for the show today...
You thought this was a paid gig?
Yeah, well, no,
That's
I thought you were firing me.
That was cute. No,
What you got?
trust me, I will keep doing this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Guitar players dime a dozen.
What do you got?
All right, I want to share this with you. So I found this thing. People might have seen it. This will get you set back. I was in Boerne, Texas, traveling through, and I stopped in a store because we were going camping, and this guy was selling these things called Epic Westerns, and I heard him saying to this black lady across the store, he's like, have you ever had a ranch water? She's like, I don't know what a ranch water is, and that's my language. So I walked over there, and I said, tell me about this ranch water. So there's 4 different flavors of this Epic Western. It's made with 2 shots of tequila, actual tequila in here. But it's made with sparkling water, lime, and salt. It's a lazy man's way. It's an expensive, but lazy man's way of getting.
Are we doing this?
Oh yeah, but it's made with the monk fruit, which is my favorite thing because there's no sugar and there's low carbs and it's gluten free and blah blah blah.
Monk fruit.
Monk fruit. So we order the monk fruit mixer to put in my tequila drinks because it's delicious and there's no sugar and there's no calories and there's no carbs.
Okay.
But this is 8% alcohol by volume.
Yeah.
You taste it?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you taste it? It's good, huh?
Yeah, it's in it.
So maybe we could get them as a sponsor on the show. Epic Western. Anyway, Hank, who was the Texas, he was the head of, he was the Texas sales rep for the entire state. And I was like, he gave me a couple of samples, and I think I spent $200 on these things, just buying a bunch of them. And they come with 4 to a pack. And he showed me like 2 packs. He goes, that's a bottle of tequila right there, buddy.
All right.
So anyway, these are some that were left over from the camping trip. And when I went down to the fridge to get you some sustenance and bring it up here to pour it in my Chad Prather cups, which you can get at pratherteas.com.
Oh, yeah.
I saw these and I was like, you need to try this.
Yeah.
Is it too sweet for you?
No, I like it. I really do. I feel like it needs a lime squeezed in it.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
Ooh. That first one got me, Shy. First one locked my jaws.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good deal. But there's a lot of liquor in it. My mother got mad at me the other day. You can call your family members and you could tell immediately if they're pissed.
Right.
Because you just know them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
By the way they breathe.
Yeah. Like the way they answer the phone.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm like, Mom, are you asleep or pissed? Hello. And my mom said, I saw your episode with Sarah Gonzalez the other day because we do the live thing on Monday nights where 7:30 on Mondays, 7:30 Central, we just get on our YouTube lives and we broadcast the show. Well, it's not a show, but we just talk. We get caught up. And I was drinking the tequila and the monk fruit and just mixing my drinks. And Sarah, she's got her bougie-ass husband that brings her drinks from Offset and hands them to her.
Yeah. She's drinking them 300 bottles of wine.
And we went for 2 hours on that thing, which is way too long, but we went for 2 hours. And by the end of it, my mom goes, "You were drunk on that." And I go, "Mom, I wasn't drunk. It's an act."
Yes.
Trust me, nobody's seeing me.
Last night was an act as well.
Yeah, it was all an act.
It was an act.
In my defense, last night we started. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. We're talking about nothing of substance on this show, by the way. You're just hanging with me and Steve.
We are the Seinfeld of the podcast world. Right?
It's about nothing. We went vote for Trump. Yay, we made it political.
Yeah.
We went to lunch at 10 a.m.
we did. Yeah, we did.
We woke up. We had nothing to do. And for this taping, for those of you who don't know, this is a little bit further away, but yesterday was Father's Day. I spent it with Steve.
Yep.
My kids, they are all out of state. They called me. It made me cry. My mother posted a picture of my kids. It made me cry. I looked at Steve and I realized he was coming home with me again, and that made me cry. But we went out, and so we started having, sips and dips around 11 a.m. yesterday.
And watched a really badass guitar player dude solo thing.
I got to find out that guy's name. I see him playing over there.
He was great, dude.
At the Woodlands Waterway. He plays at the different bars over there and restaurants, and that dude.
Yeah, he did the whole loop machines and all that stuff, and that's cool if that's your deal. But he did some cool tunes.
Yeah, he did some. Anybody that's covering Peter Gabriel.
Yes.
Like Sledgehammer, and then goes into 38 Special on request, and even
awesome.
Prince and Michael Jackson and Queen.
Yes.
That's my thing I've always respected good cover bands or cover artists who just, and I mean, he was note perfect.
Yeah, he was incredible.
On every riff that he did. And he wasn't too loud, which I like because I'm old. And he had it kind of muted, but he was playing. Started playing at like 11 a.m. We sat there listening to him. We watched the U.S. Open. Won a little money on that. We watched some baseball. It was a long day.
The other place we went to too was awesome.
So yes, it was an act.
I mean, it was an act.
It was an act.
It was.
And then we went over to Kirby Ice House and hung out over there that's the longest bar in Texas.
Like physical, just
the length of the
bar.
Yeah, that's the longest bar in Texas.
Okay.
We'll see if anybody can break that record. But anyway, so it was all an act though. Yeah. But
so the moral of this entire story is that he blocked his mom.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I feel attacked, and I feel judged.
Yeah.
And
Shut up, Mom.
I think I'm going to maybe cut off your funds, Mother. Maybe you don't eat this week and you learn.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gonna be so pissed.
It's like the bit Steve Martin did years ago, 30 years ago. He said, "I'm so mad at my mother. She called me up the other day wanting to borrow $10 for some food."
Have you watched the documentary, the Steve Martin documentary?
I have not.
Then and Now. I think that's what it's called. It's the first part of it is his early stand-up.
Right.
Because he quit doing stand-up.
Yeah.
In like 80.
Right.
Because he was like, can't do it anymore.
Yeah, he did the whole wild and crazy guy with the arrow and
yeah, he's like, you watch that stuff and he was ahead of his time because his stuff was so random.
Oh yeah.
And people didn't know what to think of it, and then all of a sudden he got big. And then the second part of the documentary is him as an actor and doing films and things like that. It's very interesting. They could have told the story a lot faster, but I will say this, it's interesting to watch people's journey on stuff. And especially back then, before there was social media and a way to perform or promote yourself in a certain way, you just had to go out there and try to dig up an audience.
Right.
And you might be performing in front of 8 people. But what these guys went through to build that audience, man.
And there was no video back then. It was just albums.
You
went to a live show and then you bought the live album or what,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I burned the needle through the Bill Cosby albums.
Oh yeah.
I can still do all the old Bill Cosby bits.
Oh, I bet you can.
I can.
Yeah.
I can, minus the
I wish you'd have told me that before I took a drink of this.
There, you're ahead of me already.
Damn it.
Oh no, drink up. Drink up, children.
It puts the pill in the Rita.
You gotta put the pill in the pudding. But I can still do all the old Cosby bits. And my comedic influences, Robin Williams for the spontaneity, or at least the appearance of the spontaneity,
Right.
and George Carlin for the rant style. We weren't allowed to watch either of those in my home growing up. Somehow they influenced me. Bill Hicks for the political viewpoints on things. Bill Cosby for the storytelling.
Yeah.
And, stuff like that. I had those albums.
Right.
I had those albums. I was 6, 7 years old listening to.
Another one that I always thought was really funny, but he was so dry, was Stephen Wright.
Oh, Stephen Wright was the best. And now that now that he gives interviews, now when he gives interviews, he's sort of out of that character. He used to be so deadpan.
Yeah.
And he never broke the character.
Yeah.
And now he's a little more,
I just remember growing up being a kid with my dad watching like Johnny Carson and stuff and him being on there. And I always thought that was the funniest thing.
You ever fill the bathtub up halfway and stand in the shower and pretend you're in a submarine that's been hit?
He said, I came home one day from work. Somebody had stolen all of my furniture and replaced it with identical stuff.
Exact replicas.
I've got a buddy, he's this tall. He poses for trophies.
I'm telling you that
He was hilarious.
people that are joke writers, phenomenal. And then you got these days there's some funny guys that are out there. But there's this new kid that at Rogan's mothership in Austin a lot, Joe Rogan's place. His name's Casey Rockets. He
You
ain't for
played
everybody.
me a video of
he
him.
ain't for everybody.
He's just going in a circle and just rambling.
He's just bouncing off, literally bouncing off the walls.
Yes.
And the stuff coming out of his brain is completely random.
Right.
And but it was so funny. He was like, I was diagnosed with reverse Benjamin Button disease. So I'm getting older like a normal person, but I still have the penis of a toddler. And they say dick jokes aren't funny.
See?
They're funny. Somebody tell Jesse Payton. If you took away penis jokes, Jesse Payton wouldn't have a bit.
He would not.
He wouldn't have anything. But he'll be with me in Ohio.
Or a date, probably. He wouldn't have a date.
Oh, my gosh. But I also had, I do that bit where I talk about musical influences. I also had a box of records. My grandfather had, do you remember those old things? Did you ever see them, the record holders that were like in the living room? There was a pole that wedged between the ceiling and the floor.
We had that
And
crap,
it
dude.
rotated around.
Yes.
It was like a carousel of albums.
Yes. And our TV and stereo and radio was the size of this table,
Yeah.
dude, and the lid come up. And,
Yeah. We had that at my house. We had with my grandfather, my grandmother, they had the big stereo, and I'd sit in there and we'd just spin records. And so if I was really into a record, I would just steal it for a week or two and take it home with me, and I'd play it on my little blue thing with the little detachable speakers. And so when I was 6 years old, I'd be in there listening to George Jones.
Yeah.
He Stopped Loving Her Today, and this kind of depressing, sad, cheating, drinking, dying music for a 6-year-old. And then for some reason, I was telling you, this is a true story. For some reason, there was a shoebox of 8 tracks at my grandparents' house of the band Queen. I don't know why. My grandmother didn't listen to Queen.
That's so funny.
Like, I don't know if my brothers had bought them and just left them over there or something, but I found them. And so
But your mom was an antique person, so somebody might have just been selling some random 8 tracks.
No,
She didn't have any idea what they were, so she just bought a box of them or something.
Nah, it didn't happen like that.
Yeah.
That wasn't my mother's kind of thing. She wouldn't have bought stuff like that. And back then, 8 tracks were still a thing.
I got you.
They were still a thing.
Yeah.
They had an 8-track player
Yeah.
that was up on the bookshelf. And
My first car, dude, when I was a junior in high school, 8-track player. I swear to God. Hey, a Monday warrior, a mean strive. Today's Tom Sawyer. Oh, Cleveland, Texas, buddy.
Yeah,
Rush.
Can you play that on the guitar?
I can.
Grab the guitar.
No,
Can you,
I'm not going to do it.
Come on.
I'm not doing it.
Play something.
You said I'm not getting paid for this gig. I'm not
You're
going to
not.
play guitar.
I just want to let everybody, I just wanted to tickle it. I just want to tickle their
You want
ears.
to tickle a little?
Yeah, come on. Play.
I don't have a pick in my pocket, dude.
You don't need a pick.
I'm not prepared.
All right, fine. Scheider's a guitar player. He ain't got a pick either.
He's
Lean in here.
He's Asian. He's probably got fingernails that long.
Did you ever see him on that episode of Kung Fu?
grab it from my hand. It's a cool guitar, dude.
Is it?
The old Rush tracks, man.
That's good music. Rush.
that stuff, dude. That was the early 80s, man.
You are a jukebox, though.
Kind of.
You're a jukebox.
You put a quarter in me, I'll do anything.
Where do we stick the quarter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ought to see where the credit card slides.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I'm not sure that'll still read the magnetic strip. That's been stretched out so much.
Does that have a chip in it?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. You've had a chip in you. I miss that guy. Chip was a cool dude.
Chip was a great dude.
We never knew when he came out of the closet what you were going to get. No, really, he lived in a closet. It was odd.
It's weird.
He just kind of stayed in there, and every now and then he'd be like, is Chip here? Yeah, he's in the closet.
Yeah.
Then he'd come out and put his magnetic strip in Steve's bunghole.
And we're clear. Good night, everybody.
Steve was a cornhole champion before cornhole was a game.
Whoa,
yeah,
whoa.
That's a fact.
Before beanbags were involved.
Oh, they were throwing a lot of beanbags your way, pal. Bouncing them off your face, your chin, your eyes, everything, just smacking them. Golly, you were like a wiener factory.
Welcome to Cleburne.
Welcome to Cleburne, Texas. Y'all did a lot of gay shit, huh?
No, not really.
I was trying to find a solid homosexual to have on the show for Pride Month, and you're it.
That's as close as you can get.
Yeah. How's your wife doing?
It's my beard. She's good. She's in Utah, actually.
What's she doing? What's she doing over there?
Well,
she stays gone a lot, I noticed.
She does. I don't know if that's for work or if I've just finally run her ass off.
Well, she might have joined one of them families.
You think?
She might be a sister wife.
Oh, my.
She could be. She's all over the place. I miss her.
I can't handle just one wife, much less 13 of them.
She definitely is your better half. There's no doubt about that.
I promise, yeah.
What do you think about this drink, though?
It's good. Great, dude. I like it.
When I get silly like that, my mom's like, you're drunk. No, I'm not drunk.
Not drunk. I can't feel my face, though.
No, I'm just adolescent.
Yeah, exactly.
Woo. I don't know. I like this stuff, but I have to be in the mood for this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not a beer drinker.
Yeah.
I'll have 2 beers, very light beers. Yep. Like I fell in love with, what's the Mexican beer? That starts with not Modelo. No, it starts with a P. Oh. Either way, it's like 2% alcohol. It's like light.
Yeah.
It's CJ's like, I love it because it's not any alcohol in it. I said, well, you could just drink water and maybe pour a sip of beer in it and just drink it. Anyway, we were in Cabo 2 weeks ago, and I like that stuff. But still, 2 beers is all I can do.
Yeah, I'm not a huge beer guy.
You like scotch and you like red wine. I'm allergic to red wine. You know this.
I do.
You've seen me throw it up a lot.
I have.
Because I can't keep it down.
And yeah, people think, oh my God, he's throwing up, and it's like, no, it's because he's allergic.
I'm allergic to the
he's allergic to the shit.
I'm allergic to the red skin of grapes.
Right.
Because if I eat a red grape, it'll do the same thing.
Will it really?
Yeah, it'll tear me up, dude. And I didn't know that. I just thought I had bad reflux and I was sick all that. But that's one thing your wife and I shared. One thing is good wine. And she likes a good bold red cab, and I do too, and I still do. I was down in Cabo the other day, and we were sitting there, and somebody that was with us ordered a cab, and I took a sip of it. Do you know I threw that up later on?
Really?
Yeah. It's like the same amount that went down.
Dude, you were a weird cat.
I'm not weird-ish.
Yeah, you're weird, man.
I guess. But
by the way, you're talking about Pacifico.
Pacifico.
Yeah.
The Pacifico Light.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See, names.
Yeah.
Names are getting me right now. I don't know what's going on. Lyrics to songs, names, social security numbers.
What's the bit? They say when you get old, Steve Stewart always said this. They say when you get old, you lose your memory. The second thing to go is, I don't know. Yeah. Can't remember. Yeah.
You came down here to play golf, and we're doing none of it. Because there's supposed to be a tropical storm coming through.
Well, because you're contractually bound to do shows, so
Well,
you're
this is
keeping
what
us
I
off
do.
the golf course right now, dude.
This is what I do. Me
Can
and
we
Shatter.
not do this from a golf cart?
No, so what I want to do, and I kicked this idea to you, Shatter. I don't think I told you. I want to do some podcast episodes from the golf course.
Yeah.
You know, we could have some drone footage of the course, pretty stuff,
Yeah.
and some shots being taken, but then we'll just set the deal
Can you
up.
do all of that hanging off the back end of a golf cart?
We'll just set up some GoPros, and then we'll just get the DJ whatever microphones.
So you don't even have to be with us. He's going to go
really
to the
don't.
Waffle House while we're out there sweating our ass
Yeah.
off.
So, but you could have the conversation out there on the golf course, but I want to start doing stuff like that where
That would
we're a
be
little more
cool.
on vacation or on location, vacation.
Yeah.
and go out there and just kind of. But I think it'd be a fun little concept.
Yeah.
It's not. It's been done.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be fun to do.
I think it'd be cool to do it too, maybe like a 30-minute deal too, like during sound check while we're all setting up. Wire all three of us up with a GoPro and just.
Do you really want people to see how you behave during a sound check before a show? Because it ain't good.
You're right.
Let's have an intervention right now. What do you think makes you grumpy?
People that don't do their job or appreciate their job. Let me just go on record right now. Is that camera on? If you say sound check is at 4, when I show up at 3:55 and your speakers aren't even set up yet, that means sound check's not going to be at 4.
Right.
That means it's going to be at 6 because you're going to lollygag while you're undoing all of your shit out of your truck to set up the sound you've been hired to do.
There's two aspects to preparing for a show. Well, there's a couple of them. So usually about a week out from a show, your person, like say Party Foul Steve or Ben McPherson, who is technically our band leader, they would call and they do what's called an advance.
Yes.
This is a stage plot. This is what we need. We need these wires, these cables run. This is what we require for these instruments, blah, blah, blah. And it may be different depending on how many players are going to be on stage or what type of mic stands you want. Anyway, we're pretty low key on that. We're not high maintenance at all. We do that on purpose because we don't want to be high maintenance and we don't like lugging a bunch of crap around. So that's the advance. Yeah. Then you have load in. That's the day of the show. So if the show's at 9 o'clock that night, load in might be at 3. That means all your gear, all your cases, all your equipment, that's being rolled in and set up. Then there's sound check. That's when you step up to the microphone and you see
everything is set up. Now we're checking the sound.
Now we're checking sound. So we were told the other day that sound check was at 4. We got there. Sound check did not happen until 5:15, and we were trying to sound check while people were coming in to the venue. Yeah. And you know what happens when people come in the venue? They want to come up and talk to you. Yes. They'll stand right at the foot of the stage, or they'll try to climb up on the stage and take pictures. And we had that happen.
We did.
There was a fella who was there, and God bless him, he was just having a good time.
Yeah,
he was up there. He was next level. And we were razzing him a little bit, all in good fun, like we do with the audience. And he tried to climb up on the stage. And Steve, with his guitar on, walks over there and grabs a guy by the shoulders and shoves him back down. Thank God that stage was 6 feet tall. Yeah. And several other people grabbed him and was like, "Bro, you can't do that. You can't do that." But yeah, that's why I always tell people. I said, "Listen, y'all don't understand. I have people who say, 'Hey, you're going to be in my town. Let's go to dinner.' I would, in a perfect world, I'd be able to do that, but I can't. Like, hey, come over to the house. Yeah. At a buddy of mine who said, dude, all you do is just sit on a stool and grab a microphone, right? Yeah, I know. There's a lot of moving parts, and a local show is always harder than any of them because everybody knows you and they want, the comp tickets or they want to come hang out or spend time or whatever. It's like, listen, after the show, it's Katie bar the door. We'll go out, we'll hang out, we'll talk, we'll get caught up, all this kind of stuff. Before the show, I'm stressed because I don't know if you're like this or not. I'm getting back to why you're grumpy. I don't know if you're like this or not, but like, I never want to go do a show until I'm there doing it.
There's certain shows that I can't wait for them to hit on the calendar.
Really?
But you're right. There's some that it's like, man, I don't even want to get in the truck right now. And then I get there and I'm like, this is a great night. I'm so glad I'm here.
My thing is, I think I have what psychologists would call imposter syndrome because I know I suck at most everything.
No, you don't.
Oh, I do. And so I know. So I'm like, one of these. It's kind of like it's Oz. You're afraid that somebody's going to pull the curtain back and see just how shitty you are, and. Some people tell me that. So I get a little bit of that imposter syndrome. And I'm like, why would people want to come show up and hear what we got to do? And then you do it, and it's like, you know what? People had a good time. It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
And even with the, but again, back to my original point with that was, you don't get paid for the show. You get paid for showing up.
Yeah, you get paid for all the other crap that happens.
It's all the travel.
The 90 minutes on stage is free. Yeah. We'll do that for free.
So when we go to Ohio.
Not really.
When we go to Ohio, I'm throwing a bunch of gear in your truck. You're going to drive and meet us in Cincinnati.
I'm going straight to the pawn shop.
I bet you are. We're not giving you anything of high value. You're going straight to Cincinnati. You're going to drive up to Cincinnati. We're going to fly up there and meet you. And then we're going to do the show there, and then we're going to drive up to Columbus, and then we're going to backtrack and drive 6 hours back to Belleville, Illinois, and then we're going to drive another 6 hours to Miami, Oklahoma. So I tell people, I was like, all of that's loading in, that's gear, that's setting up, that's packing up, pulling down, pushing back, getting it back in the truck, getting down the road, getting in the hotel, trying to get some sleep, somewhere fitting tequila into your lifestyle and schedule, and then you're on the thing. So I tell people, I said, you get paid for showing up.
Yeah.
Doing the show is the easy part. So for me, I think there's a little bit of dread of what leads up to the show. Is it
just three of us on all of this, or is Jesse going to be in the truck with us?
Jesse's never allowed in a vehicle with me.
Okay.
Jesse Payton is never allowed in a vehicle with me.
Because I was about to renegotiate my contract.
No, his hyperactivity cannot be sustained in confined environs.
No, sir.
No way. I got to meet with him today at 2 o'clock. I'm dreading it.
Whew.
Boy's a lot. And he doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs.
No, maybe we need to turn him on to some of that.
Something. But he's high energy all the time. And he's repetitive.
Yeah.
But you were funny. We were doing a show at, was it Victoria? Where were we? No, we were at Schrader Hall. The funniest one, because Schrader Hall is a big, and I think it's closed now, big old Texas dance hall. Old place. It's a barn. And but great history there. And this kid walks over with his iPad. We just set up our stuff, plug it in, and Steve strums his guitar, and it makes sound through the speakers. One strum, Scheider, and the kid goes, "You good?" And it was like, and Steve goes, I could see, I was like, he's gonna come off of this stage and strangle this kid. Because no, we're not good. There's a lot that goes into getting the sound right.
Yes.
And we're going to need you to pour some effort into this. And I go, oh God, this kid ain't a real sound person.
No, they showed him where the mute button was.
Yeah.
He unmuted the guitar and said, "Are you good?" I go, "No, dude, let's try to make this thing sound like a freaking guitar. What do you think? A $3,000 Gibson in my hand. Let's try to make it sound like that."
Yeah. Let's make it sound good, because a good sound person is worth it. So I've seen
Thank
Steve.
God we have Ben, though, because Ben knows that iPad. He knows all of those programs, and he can work it.
Steve, I've seen Steve chew some asses out. My philosophy of going in and doing a show is, and I preach this to Party Foul Steve forever on the road, is when we leave a venue, we want them to want us to come back.
Of course we do.
You know what I'm saying? So Steve, I've seen Steve, you get rough with some of these sound guys, but you always make it right. They're your buddy by the time.
I promise it is, but I want them to realize, dude, we have a freaking job to do here.
And there's nothing wrong with pushing somebody towards a little more disciplined behavior.
I promise.
In their so-called craft.
I was here on time.
Yeah.
I'm here to do my job. You're getting paid to do that job. Let's do it.
This is what we do. We sit around and bitch.
Yeah, we do.
We bitch all the time.
We do.
The older we get, you know who it reminds me of? Hit the little clock there. Let's see where I always, it didn't go out. I'm reminded of Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau and Grumpy Old Men.
Eat my shorts.
That's me and you. Where at the end he goes, "You want to go get drunk?" Yep.
Every morning they come out of their door and he goes, "Morning, dickhead."
I'm like, yep, that's me and Steve right there. And I found myself needing to get a lot of space away from you, Steve, because it was rubbing off on me pretty bad.
Really?
Oh, yes. The negativity.
Had zero to do with the fact that you're an asshole, too.
The negativity, dude. Oh, my gosh. But no, it's a whole cast of characters. And but again, we have fun doing what we do. And I think that's part of it. I think when we include people in that, George Strait broke a record the same night we were over in Tomball doing that show. Imagine the moving parts that go into doing a show that has 110,900 people.
Oh, dear God.
Set a record.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
In College Station, Texas, at Kyle Field.
110.
I didn't know they could put that many people, but I guess they were down on the field, standing room only.
Oh, yeah, that's field everything, too.
Yeah, because at the end they were sold out, and they said, we're going to open up standing room only tickets for $45.
Right.
It had to be a $6 million night for him.
Oh, dude, it wouldn't surprise me if it was more than that.
I would think.
Yeah.
I would think.
I mean, Parker got paid.
I'm going to call Parker McCullum and find out.
What is it, Caitlin?
Katie Offerman.
Katie Offerman, yeah. I mean, they all got paid, too.
Yeah, Katie Offerman.
That was a huge night for
Parker McCullum.
They all got paid a lot of money.
I'm going to call Parker and find out. Be like, how much did the King make?
Yeah. What'd you get, Parker? What do you think George got?
Yeah.
Come on.
What did King make?
I mean, we can text Benny Mac or John Michael and go, come on, just come on, give me a ballpark figure.
I'd love to know. You should text Benny Mac.
And it probably was close to a ballpark.
Yeah. I mean, that's hey, God bless him.
But he's the king, dude.
He's the king. He can do it. And you knew every Texas A&M Aggie was going to show up for that because it was special for them to say George Strait is performing at Kyle Field. So
George Strait gave him a whoop.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
So they, they came in droves. I mean, they're a bunch of cult members. So, they were going to show up and drink that Kool-Aid. Any college that's got male cheerleaders and no girls, that's weird.
I mean,
I don't even think they're cheerleaders. They call them, what do they call them? Cheer?
Yell
Corps or something like that. Whatever. Weirdos. Don't start sending me messages. I'm all for Texas A&M.
I'm married to an Aggie, so y'all
just
shut up.
Stop it. We're kidding. But I can't put 50 people in Kyle Field. I know that. So
hey, much less do a hand signal to make them all yell the same shit.
Chad Prather's performing in Bryan College Station at Kyle Field. Not the whole stadium, just section 102, down in the first A through Z, not even up to the AA, B, B, C, C seats. You know what I mean? And then last night, we were right down the street from where Alanis Morissette was playing at the Cynthia Wood Mitchell Pavilion,
which I thought was ironic.
It is ironic, don't you think?
Don't you think?
A little too ironic. Yeah.
Explain it to him that's a song she does.
It's the one she does. She does. But you know what? He has a hard time swallowing those jagged little pills. Yeah, see what I did right there? Yeah. But you laugh, you learn. You laugh, you learn. But I've never seen so many bitter women in my life as what were going into that concert.
Yes, it was bad, wasn't it?
That's going to piss people off that I say that, so I'll expound on it a little bit more and really piss you off. Like, Alanis Morissette's, that's like angry woman music. That's like,
oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there were some women, they were dressed to the nines, and they were sitting there. We were at the Ice House, and everybody parks back there, and then they walk past to get over to the pavilion. And it was packed, man. Everybody was going to see Alanis Morissette. It was 100,000 degrees. And that's a great place to go see a show. But these women, one of the male bartenders, one of the guys that was working there, he came out from behind the bar. He said, I'm going to let the girl bartenders handle it. He said, because I've never seen so many angry women. Man haters, dude. He goes, I'm just going to let them have it.
Yeah.
And he came out and stood around the side of the bar with me.
Good.
He goes, they don't want me serving them.
Yeah.
They're basically proving that. And I would look around, I was like, wow. But you know what I do like about those progressive, angry women is none of them wear bras.
Oh, nice, nice.
None of them wear bras. It was fun. So for a boob guy, I saw a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. And but there were some beautiful women that were going to the show.
Yeah, there's a ton of them.
And there was a lot of beta males that were going that were kind of cucked out. Yeah, but
there was a couple of man buns in there.
Did you see that?
Night. Yeah.
Did you notice?
Yeah,
there were some softies.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's not this show I would have wanted to be at. A lot of female testosterone happening right there.
But in their defense, we're probably not the show they want to be at either. So.
No, they're not coming. They're not coming to see us in section 103 A through Z
at Kyle
Field. They're not going to be at that show because we offer nothing about that. So we're not woke at all.
Hey, whoop means something whole different.
Yeah, whoop
to
means
them.
something different. You'll get reported for saying whoop. Yeah, Chad Prather performed at Kyle Field, section 103 A through Zeros, and he advocated for child abuse.
Yes.
Whoop. Anyway, all right, Steve. I hope you get some jobs. Hope you get booked to go play some music somewhere.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. People don't want to book a lot anymore. It's getting hard for musicians.
Yeah.
So again, you could say whatever you want to say about the Biden economy. These people say, it's the strongest economy ever. Let me just tell you from someone who makes a living in the gig world, that is not true.
It's not true.
We try to keep our ticket prices as low as we possibly can. We've had some debacles with things like Ticketmaster raising the things. I refuse to use Ticketmaster or go to a venue that will. People don't have money for stuff.
Yeah.
That's why we try to keep it, $25, $30, $35 ticket.
Right.
And I'm happy with 6, 7, 500 people in a show and it more intimate like that.
Right.
But it's hard on people.
Yeah, it really is.
And what pisses me off is, and you and I beat this horse to death. I ran for office because they were shutting venues down and putting people like me and you out of business.
Right.
People that were, but a lot of our quote musician friends, they don't like my conservative viewpoints. They're mad at me because, oh, Chad, he's just off on something. No, I sacrificed almost 2 years of my life so you could go to work.
Right.
So you could go to work, and then you want to bitch at me and complain because you don't like my so-called politics.
Right.
And I'm like, look, whatever. I was doing it for you.
Yeah. I don't, that's a real touchy subject for me, and you know that.
I know. Well, we have people that are our friends.
They're some great friends.
Yeah.
But they have a completely different way of thinking, and it drives me crazy.
You've gotten more vocal recently on the political side of things.
I'm just tired of it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of all these dudes bitching about this, but then they're going to play and getting money from the people that think like we do.
That's right.
I'm all about the conservative thing, and I am. I'm that guy. I like to fish and hunt, and I want to work, and I want to pay bills. I don't want to pay for your shit. I don't. But everybody that's on the other side, they don't mind going to the horse ranches and playing for them cowboys, making all that money. Yeah. Go sing for them, but then they're going to talk bad about them when they're not around them, and it's like,
and they say, "Well, I'm not going to get political." Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
You're everybody's forced into it.
Yeah,
these days.
You have to be nowadays.
Yeah, and you want to keep making money. Well, then you're working in a gig economy. You're working in a free market economy. You, by the very nature of what you do, are forced to be political because you're not going to make any money if you're not. Right. You got to be. And look, I don't care. We can have our political differences. My God, I don't need everybody in the world to agree with me for me to be friends with them. I don't want everybody to agree with me. But I also don't need you to defend stupidity and a lack of common sense and get pissed off because we do disagree on certain issues. It's a free country. I mean, that's what makes America great in the long run, or it should, is us being able to disagree on things.
Right.
But
I actually had one of my buddies for years. His thing was, Trump don't give a shit about you. He could care less about you. I don't give a shit if Trump cares about me. I could care less.
Right.
I want to be able to go buy groceries and then go do this and that and not pay $4 a gallon for gas. I couldn't give a shit how Trump feels about me.
That's right. And he may not care about me specifically, although he did remember my name when he saw me last time after he hadn't seen me for 4 years. So that's pretty impressive.
Right.
I will say this. The things he does care about matter to me.
Of course.
And I care about the things he cares about because, and again, I don't agree with Trump on everything either, but at least the stuff he's pursuing are things that I believe will make my life and ultimately your life better.
Right.
But no, they got to be at each other's throat.
They have to. The sad part is I get it, man. He's an asshole. He is. He's a complete asshole. I would rather have an asshole running my country than some yahoo that's going to just let wars and shit start up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want an asshole running the business.
It was a perfectly good opportunity to bring the word retard back. But didn't do it. Didn't do it, and that's fair. That's fair. No, I he may not care about me, but I care about things he cares about.
Sure.
And that's where we are.
Yes, and that was my point.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about you. Couldn't give a shit less about you. I don't care about that.
My wife doesn't care about me.
I just want shit to go back like it was,
Yeah, and it's brutal. And listen, he had a hand in the way things went with these shutdowns and COVID and all that kind of stuff. He had played a big part of that.
Sure,
Operation
he did.
Warp
It happened
Speed,
on his watch.
And all that stuff. And so I've been publicly criticizing, and I want more than anything for him to come out and say I was wrong.
But I think when it all hit, nobody knew what the hell was happening. Everybody was scrambling, dude.
You're going through, you're trying to listen to the voices of the so-called experts who are guiding you.
But when they're feeding you full of shit and they're making millions on the backside of it, that's when you kind of go, okay, you got me, but not again,
Like George W. Bush said, you fooled me once, shame on me. You fooled me twice, and you fooled me again.
A lot of fooling going on there.
You're gonna fool me again. But anyway, I don't know. We're out there doing it. I think things are coming back around in regards to, we try as hard as we can to go out there and put on a good show and have a good time with people. I mean, you want to play good, you try to play good. And tonight, I think we played pretty good. So, SteveHelmsBand.com.
That's me, man.
That's where they find you.
That is it.
Steve actually has a whole band by himself. He's got people.
We do have people.
SteveHelmsBand.com.
They're little bitty tiny.
They pose for trophies.
They pose for trophies.
But there might be some in the closet with Chip. But, ew. And this is a Chisparita.
Yes.
Chips everywhere.
Your mom's going to hear you mispronounce that and think you're drunk right now.
Yeah, no. Well,
thanks for having me on the show, dude.
I'm glad you came on. And I don't. This storm ain't storming. What's the deal?
So we were all going to go play golf or no?
I don't know.
It looks real hot out there, dude.
It's baking, dude. It is muggy.
Can we just go to a bar and play Golden Tee?
Could we just go to a bar?
I mean, we could do that too.
Find some air conditioning and just sit there?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
At some point in time, I could probably need to make up with my girlfriend.
I mean,
right as we were starting, I was like trying to do that. And right as we were starting this episode, she sent me another text message that pissed me off. And I was like, see, wrong thing to say. What is this relationship stuff? What is this relationship stuff?
Sorry, buddy.
That's okay.
Here, let me help you.
She loves me. She loves me. Sometimes a little too hard. Sort of like I just want to squeeze this puppy so hard.
What's the song lyric? I want to hold you underwater.
In my mind, you're blowing me.
Kisses. Oh, my God.
Off the rails. That's where we're at.
Come see us, man. Come see us.
WatchChad.com is where all the fun stuff is. PratherTees.com. We've got a few Don't Be an Asshole shirts. You got some more of those coming out?
I was supposed to. I haven't heard from the T-shirt guy in about 6 weeks.
Steve's catchphrase that keeps his social media somewhat limited is on every post. He puts "Don't be an asshole."
It's life lessons
coming from their king. King asshole over here.
It's for y'all. It's not for me.
Right. But we've got a few of those. Don't be an asshole. So you got some more of those coming out, and that was a big seller.
Yeah.
When we had them, it was a big seller. Now we're down to no sizes, but might have to bring that one back. But PratherTees.com's got all kind of fun stuff. Still just getting rid of inventory. Got new stuff coming in, and it's cool. So those of you out there, it's not the podcast, but on Monday nights, if you want to join Sarah Gonzalez and me, usually about 7:30 Central, we try every week that we can when we're in town. Monday nights, we want to get on YouTube and on the live and just go for about an hour. We get caught up on things from the weekend, have a couple of drinks, and make my mom mad.
You call me an asshole, but y'all are just going to bitch for an hour, aren't you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you can't be around Sarah and not.
Oh, Sarah can go, buddy.
Yeah. That's
she
one
gets
woman
pretty
you
heated.
do not want pissed at you.
I love you, Sarah. Sarah Gonzalez. I love you.
She texted me the other day about a situation. She said, "What do I do about this?" I said, "I'm pretty sure your mind's already made up.
Yeah.
I don't think you need my advice."
Yeah.
She's like, "I'm about to go ballistic on him, just nuclear on." I said, "Oh, dear God."
When you pull the little rope, the guillotine comes down.
All right, Steve Helms, Steve Helms Band. Follow him on social medias, all the kind of stuff. See what he's going on. And hey, don't be an asshole. It's good advice. I love you, buddy. Let's go.
Too,
let's figure out what we're going to do next. All right, watchchad.com is where the fun stuff is.
Lunch.
God, we just went to breakfast.
I know. It's crazy.
We'll go downstairs, take some Ozempic or something.
Yes.
Shiner, got something to say? Good. No. All right. Appreciate Shy, all the team that makes this show possible, and I appreciate you guys for listening and tuning in. Leave us a rating and review. Drive that sucker up the charts. Let's keep on going, man. We're just having fun with you guys. We're just having fun with you. Thanks for hanging out in this just a little lighthearted today. And we might do it again sometime soon before we get into some heavy stuff. If you've missed any old episodes, go back, check them out. The view count helps. Go back and rewatch them anyway. That actually would help us because they've got us capped on YouTube. They've got us capped on YouTube where we can only get so many views, and then it's just pathetic. It just dwindles away. So go back, do some search, get on my channel, rewatch them, or just let them play in the background or something. And it tells the algorithm that, hey, this is stuff people want to see. I love you. God bless you. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.